Welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast. My name is BlueWestlo. Here is Robbie V. And today we have a very special guest. We have Ms5000Watts herself, fresh imported in from Japan. Imported doesn't, maybe not imported because she's not from, but she's got the clothing and she has the travel experience, so might as well be. We have Ms5000Watts. She is here. She's going to talk to us about what she's been up to. Talk to us about some Destiny. We talk a lot about some of the new trailers and shows that had just popped up today of all days. Great timing. Talk a little bit about some Godzilla Minus One. Rob really enjoyed it.
Best movie of the year.
I want to watch it.
And we probably talk about a couple other things that I've already lost track of. Then we get into a little Q&A. So if you guys want to hear about all that and more, stick around. And also, you guys are all really cool. Augers.
This bustling holiday season, you might be looking for nutritious, flavorful meals to fuel you on a jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit delivery service, can help you eat well for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. With chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle while tracking all your holiday to-dos. You guys absolutely know this is me, Mr. Fruit and Blue's absolute favorite kind of meal service. The food is delicious. You can't go wrong with it. And the best part for me, it's convenient and microwavable. I'm a really bad cook. This takes all that out. Treat yourself to high-quality, delicious meals over the holidays. Choose from 35-plus chef-created meals every week that support a healthy lifestyle and meet your meal preferences, whether it's calorie smart, vegan and veggie, protein plus, and more wholesome options. Head to factormeals.com/GG50 and use code GG50 to get 50% off. That's code GG50 at factormeals.com/GG50 to get 50% off. We all know quitting bad habits can be tough to do. That's where Fume comes in. As you guys know, I've been about 3 months clean from my bad habit that I've picked up over the years. Fume is here to help you like they helped me. They look at the problem a little differently. Not everything in the bad habit is wrong. So instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from the habit? Fume is an innovative, award-winning flavored air device that does just that. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses delicious flavors. I love their orange flavor. It literally tastes like Fanta. And the look of it is real nice. It's sleek, cool looking. What more could you need? Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 150,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, and there's no reason it can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com and using the code GG to save 10% off and getting your Journey Pack today. That's tryfume.com and using the code GG to save an additional 10% off your order today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to GG Over Easy podcast. Already, episode 206?
207.
207, God.
We really are.
In today's episode, we are joined by
Hello.
Ms5000Watts.
The one and only.
Thanks, guys. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
A podcast master yourself. I know you are. You have like 3 podcasts yourself. It almost feels like.
Yeah, there's a few. We've gone through a lot. We have, of course, DCP main that's been going since Planet Destiny.
What episodes are you guys on DCP?
Oh my! I will look it up. We also have no idea. The intro that Breyer does every week is just like, "Welcome to episode."
Have you ever had to do the intro? It's a tough ask.
It is. I know. Easy. It's a thing where they look at the number and they just immediately forget it. But DCP is at 362, and then before that we have Planet Destiny, and I don't know how many that was on when we left.
Have you been involved in every 362 episodes of?
I have for DCP, yeah. That was one that we decided that we'd just separate from Planet Destiny, because Planet Destiny was like a YouTube channel, it was like a website, it was a whole thing. It wasn't just a podcast. That was like the Tefty
saga, kind of, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was a guest on there like 1 week, and then we just were like, let's get you as a main host, and then we just decided to make DCP separate from all the other stuff.
Nice.
So for some of those that may not know or familiar with your content, Watts, would you like to introduce yourself to the listeners, viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been doing full-time content creation for like 12 years.
Wow.
I think I stopped counting after, and then I'm like, yeah, it's probably around 12. I don't know. I started with Call of Duty Black Ops 1. That was the first one I made content on.
Wow.
Everybody's a COD YouTuber at some point. That's what Datto, Mr. Fruit, everybody started with some sort of COD.
Yep. So that's when I started. And then I was doing just only YouTube. And then I got into streaming with Titanfall 1. But I wasn't like really streaming it because I couldn't figure out my audio problems. And I was like, I don't want to deal with it. So yeah. I didn't properly stream until Trials of Osiris came out in Destiny. That's when I really started streaming. And from there, I obviously play Destiny. But probably my favorite genre is like Souls games. Love Monster Hunter, all that kind of stuff is my jam. So that's a lot of the content you'll find.
I'm very scared of Monster Hunter. The
really?
menu, the menu is very intimidating. Yeah, the menu is very intimidating.
Yeah,
I do get it.
It looks really fun, but when I look at the menu and people like navigating that, I'm like, that looks really confusing and scary. But then I see cooking dances happen, and that looks really fun.
It's cats doing a little
it's kind of inaccessible in the way that Dark Souls like with Dark Souls it's like Dark Souls is like you just jump in and you just do it. Like there is no frill, there's no extra bells and whistles. It's just you go in and get your ass beat. But Monster Hunter, I could see why it's scary because it's like the same concept, but man, look at all this shit.
So when you transitioned from YouTube to streaming, do you prefer streaming much more as a content, or did you like the YouTube side more, or?
Yeah, so when I started doing YouTube, the kind of theme of what people did was like commentary videos, right? So like the gameplay was really a background thing. It was like, here's the gameplay, but like we're talking about this.
Basically no
editing.
Then
exactly. Yeah. And it kind of changed to be, it's like, what are people Googling, right? So it's like guides and tips and all that stuff. And my content on YouTube was much more like community, talking about random stuff. And that definitely is what streaming is, right? For a lot of it, it's like we're hanging out, we're playing games, we're probably talking about some other random thing on the side. So streaming definitely fits into more so what I enjoyed from original YouTube. But I like with YouTube, I like sharing things that I find, right? So if I do find a build that I find really fun, I'm like, I want to share it with people because I think it's really fun. But yeah, Twitch is definitely my favorite stream.
Well, and that's kind of why, for those that don't know, Ms5000Watts is currently the current creator for us at Content right now. She's actually wearing her hoodie right now. Your Twitch stream and your Twitch community seemed kind of like the perfect kind of, and like the Lamb Squad, it just seemed kind of perfect to try and fit everything in there. So I hope you enjoyed the drop and everything that came with it, because your hoodie, no offense, Blue, or anything like that, I really love the like inspiration behind it.
I thought the typography based content patch was super gas. So
yeah, it is really cool. Big shout out to Mike, who is in the channel right now listening. He absolutely did a great job, and I love your plushie. It is so cute.
They're adorable.
I think it looks really good. Big shout out. So in the link below, you guys can still find, it probably will be the last day to get all this in. So big shouts out to Mike and the people at Content for hooking this up. We really hope you liked it, Watts, because I really
love
enjoyed it. Good.
And I love it so much. They're perfect. Part. They're perfect.
They're so cute. Also, I don't want to gas up Rob, but Watts, I'm sure you agree. Rob runs a pretty wicked ship over at Content, and this dude is so humble about it. He's just like, just make something cool. He throws it to them. He's like, how does this look? And then Mike is insane. And then Rob's like, I don't know, man. Like, I just didn't really do anything. It's like, all right, big guy.
I literally just have Mike and everyone else kind of do everything. And I kind of just, I'm the guy in the captain's quarters that's like, do this. And everybody, I just have a good crew. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it comes down to. So
it was super smooth. It was so smooth and so much fun to work on everything. And like everything you guys brought, I was like, that's great. Looks perfect. Pretty much. So it was awesome.
So you recently went to a trip to Japan.
I did.
I am extremely jealous because I would love to do something like that.
Same.
Do you mind giving us kind of a glimpse or kind of a summary of your trip? Have you ever been before? Was this your first time? How long had this been planned?
Yeah. So man, this was, I think, the fourth or fifth time that we went.
Wow.
And we initially planned to go this January, but Bella, my cat, got sick around Thanksgiving. So we were like, we're really not sure if we're going to be able to go in January. So when she started getting better, we kind of just like, not on a whim, but pretty quickly planned something because we did want to go back to Japan. We hadn't been since, like pre-COVID. So yeah, we kind of put something together. It was 2 weeks. It was 1 week in Tokyo and then 1 week in Osaka. And we wanted to spend more time in Osaka because we hadn't spent a lot of time there. It was always like a day or 2 days or something like that. So that was the plan of splitting things up. And it was so good. It was really great. Especially as in Tokyo, like we were staying in Shibuya. And all of the Jujutsu Kaisen stuff now is like the Shibuya arc. So there's like so much stuff about like, I took a picture of Shibuya and I was like, the Shibuya arc. I just tweeted that out. And I think that was like the highest engaged tweet I've had in forever. I'm like, it's literally just, you just mention something to the weebs and they go crazy.
Are you a manga reader or an anime enjoyer yourself?
Yeah, so I watch a lot of anime. With manga, I try to read manga that's not gotten an anime yet, just because I find that the way my brain works is if I know if something's coming up or gonna happen, I'm just like, when's it happening? When's it happening? Yeah. Is it gonna happen? Is it happening? And I can't just like enjoy the show. So if I choose to watch an anime, I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it as watching anime, and then I'll read something that I'm not watching.
Yeah. So would you say, so out of your total like Japan trips, would you say like the Osaka trip was probably your favorite part of any time you've been there, or is
it's so we did something really special this time, which we went to a concert and it was for an artist. The way that it all came around was really crazy because it's like one of my favorite artists. They're called Creepy Nuts. I know the name's great. It's a good name. And
great band name, you know.
It was strange because I was just listening to them. We'd planned to go to Japan and I just Googled like Creepy Nuts concerts because I was listening to their music and they were in Osaka the time that we were in Osaka. And I was like, oh my God, we have to try and go. But this whole thing was like, it was an adventure because in Japan, they don't really like resellers and a lot of websites make it really difficult if you don't live in Japan to get tickets to anything. So you needed a Japan phone number, a Japan address. I couldn't use the hotel, any of that information. So we had to get Tomo, my husband's family's SIM cards because you needed a physical SIM card to get a phone number.
Oh my God.
So we're like scrambling for phone numbers. And the way the ticket works is actually really interesting because they send you this ticket and you can't screenshot it or anything and send it to anyone because that ticket changes an hour before the show starts. So it's just a blank page and it's got a circle on it. And then when you get to the front, someone like with their finger does a circle on the circle. And then it like goes to another website to say, yes, this is a real ticket.
Wait, what?
It's so
they live in a different world, man. I swear. Like
it's so complicated. It's so complicated. So the fact that we were able to go to that concert was crazy because this one website is just one that all foreign people are like, I can't get tickets there. It's crazy. But that concert was incredible. It was so good.
Awesome.
Definitely my favorite one.
Japanese?
He does, yeah. Thank goodness.
Okay. I was gonna say that must make it a little bit easier to kind of get yourself around and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially
like,
navigating
I would love
something
to do
like
that. Like going to a country like that, but I'm always really afraid. Like I don't know if like they really like tend to English speakers in some countries, and going there and just being like, I'm totally lost. I don't know where to go. Like just a scary situation.
If you go to like Tokyo, Osaka, all those places, like just speaking English is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be good as long as you're trying not to go to the countryside or something.
Yeah.
That's when it might get a little tricky. But even then, like, it's amazing how much body language can portray, or just like pointing at things on a menu or stuff like that. Yeah, you can get a lot done there.
Glad you had a great time in
Oh,
Japan. This kind of segues into something I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
So there's a movie that just came out about yesterday, I believe, technically.
Was it yesterday?
That I believe is the movie of the year, and that everybody, after they listen to this podcast, need to get up and go support this movie because it truly is, I think, the movie of the year. Godzilla Minus One came out yesterday, and I will give my spoiler-free review. It's the best movie I've ever seen, the best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. Please go and see it.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
It is truly, like, it's by Toho. And they did a really good job with Shin Godzilla. And Shin Godzilla is hard for me to recommend because it's a little different than other Godzillas, and the monster Godzilla looks a little different throughout the movie. It genuinely is one of the best disaster movies I think I have ever seen.
Wow.
They nail what like Western Godzilla movies could never do, which is like make you care about the story, not exactly about Godzilla, but just like about humans and the human element of Godzilla movies and stuff. I won't go any more into detail, but the action scenes were incredible. To find out they only had a budget of 15 million when like our Godzilla movies have like a budget of 200 million.
Jesus.
It truly is like one of the best disaster movies I have ever seen. If you like Godzilla in any capacity, please do yourself a favor and go see it.
Yeah. From what you've said and what I've heard is that, like you said, they do a really good job of the human story.
Yeah.
And that is something that is missing a lot. And it makes sense because, like, you have this massive monster destroying towns. Like, there should be some kind of human story behind that. So, yeah, I've heard that the human characters were done really, really, really well, which you don't get a lot of the time.
Yeah, you never do. Blue, are you when King Kong Godzilla, I know we got into heated debates about
I stand Godzilla, dude.
Okay.
I stand Godzilla. So I do want to see this soon because I've seen them all. All right. I am a Godzilla stan, so
yeah. I need to see it. It sounds great.
It truly is. Like, I mean, Oppenheimer was like my favorite movie of the year, and like I swear this like just not blew it out of the water, but like I just enjoyed it so much more. When you watch a movie like that, a disaster movie, and the human element in it is like tragic but like redeeming at the same time. It was awesome. Like, so do yourself a favor if you are a Godzilla fan or a disaster movie fan. Do yourself a favor and go see this movie as fast as you can.
I want to see it. Yeah, because I think I saw a comment on a trailer that was like, this is the first time I've actually been afraid of Godzilla. Because normally it's just like, he's so cool. Look at him doing cool stuff.
He's like an anti-hero and kind of, like for some reason likes us humans.
Right. Yeah. But this was like, we actually fear the arrival of Godzilla. And that was the first time.
Absolutely. He is a terrifying, and like the symbolism of Godzilla, because if you know about the lore of Godzilla, like the original idea behind Godzilla was like nuclear war and that type of thing. And that, Godzilla was a symbolism for the atomic bomb for the original 1950s movie. And there is a lot of like just references to that and a lot of symbolism around that as well, and survivor guilt and all that kind of stuff. And it truly is like a tragic, redeeming film. It's not perfect by any means. There's still, some tropes that come along the way, but like the movie, the action scene, the story is so good that you kind of are like, let it slide, like it's fine. That's okay.
That sounds incredible.
So speaking of good content, I believe we actually got some decent Destiny 2 content yesterday.
Yeah.
The dungeon team actually kind of snapped yesterday.
They did. Yeah.
Would you like to explain your side of it, Watts, and how you enjoyed it? Or
yeah, so this dungeon is like, the thing that I found it so incredible about it is that it is very Dark Soulsy as a dungeon. They have like mimic chests. They've got You get put in a jail, which happens a lot. They've got.
How long were you in that jail for?
Okay, we actually were not in there for very long.
Okay.
Because someone on our team noticed that there was a number that they could see from their cell quickly.
Dude, I'm so mad. Please continue.
The number
but I'm
got
so
everybody.
Mad.
They noticed it really, really quickly. So they were like, well, let's think about it. The freaking thing goes either counterclockwise or clockwise, right? So, but this is probably saying that there's X amount of circles that need to go clockwise or counterclockwise. So we just shot them until, is it clockwise? Is it counterclockwise? And then, we were out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It kicked a lot of ass. yeah, what happened to you?
Yeah, we'll explain the jail.
So with the jail, I'm like, guys, I need context clues here. Like, do you guys see what's in your cells? Like, let me know. I'm going around. I'm like, I don't see any context clues. I'm desperately looking. I'm like, boys, do you guys see anything in your cell of value? And so we're sitting here for like 10, 15 minutes doing nothing. 15 minutes go by, and I'm like, and Rob was like, I don't know, like, there's just my skeleton butt has like a tally or something, or like, I'm just like, bro, it's been 15 minutes and you couldn't tell me that there was a tally next to your skeleton.
To be fair, I thought the skeleton was just saying how long he had been there. And how long, I thought it was just kind of like, hey.
And I went back to Rob's stream, and the tally's glowing. Yeah, and I'm like, are you kidding me, man? And I'm, of course, I'm in the one cell without a tally.
Me too. Yeah, I was in the one cell that didn't have anything. I was like, I can just see a freaking latch that I can shoot. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Me and Mr. Fruit are riffing off each other and just basically going off prison rules. And, like, we're staying in here forever. And Blue's like, just look for context clues. And eventually I'm like, yeah, there's like a tally mark 5 on the ground. And Blue's like, what did you just say? I was like, uh-oh.
and then Fruit for the longest time is like, yeah, I mean, there's nothing in my cell. So we luck out because my thought was, oh, okay, it's we have 5 of them have to be rotating in one knot, which I mean, a pretty decent first guess. We got insanely lucky because we just shot them and then shot the latch and we got out.
Yeah,
with no idea.
No idea on the counterclockwise thing. Like no clue or anything.
And so then I go to Fruit's cell and he has a tally and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I did not see that. And I was like, there's only one thing in your cell and it's that. Are you kidding me? So I was
to be fair, his wasn't lit up, I don't think.
That's cap.
His was lit up
because he didn't even notice it, so he doesn't even know.
Yeah, true.
I was mad, but it was still pretty funny.
It got a lot of people.
Yeah, when you go past the jail section as well, like you said, Watts, it's very Dark Soulsy. You go through like almost kind of like a castle fortress type of thing.
Yeah, you got mimic chests everywhere.
Yeah, the mimic, cool. And then we got to the room where it's like 6 chests, and you got to like pick the right one. And thankfully enough, I picked the right one first try. So that was yeah, it was just a lot of fun, man. It's kind of weird that like this seemed way more thought out than the last raid that we kind of got in Destiny. I think it was I think it was a lot of fun. The dungeon team really snapped. It kind of gave me that almost that like sail in the wind or the wind in my sails type of thing with Destiny, where it's like, okay, like there is still like it still can be fun. I thought the encounters were challenging and like fun. The ad density was there.
I really liked it. Yeah. Like, thinking about how Bungie used what they have in Destiny to create this like storming the castle experience was really cool. Like the first boss that teleports you into a little jail cell and you have to get out. I thought that was really cool. I was like, wow, that's awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed all of it. And the exotic that you get from there is silly. I don't. I'm very mad about it. I'm very angry about it. I did the whole quest to pick up all the bones, so I have a higher chance of getting it. And then I did another run, and nope, I didn't get it. I'm saying
it's like that weird like crossbow like pistol thing, right?
Yeah, it's a crossbow sidearm that when you shoot 2 bullets into someone, it like leeches health off of them. And then if you hit 2, it grants you Devour, And then the catalyst is if you have Devour, the shots weaken as well.
I got
pretty fun.
I got the new sidearm archetype, which is really cool, and I got actually a decent roll by Blue standards. And I got a sidearm. I was like, great sidearm. But Blue and Christian were like, hey, that's actually like a new archetype, and it's actually one of my favorite guns. Like it's actually,
cool, right?
Super fun to shoot. Like does a ton of damage. Like I really liked that archetype. Thought it was really.
I saw some stats on Twitter where people were doing like damage testing with the new rocket sidearm compared to like just other specials. And they're like, this thing kind of blows other specials out of the water, which was
doing a ton of damage.
It does a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it was cool because like it takes a while for the rocket to travel too. So when I was shooting, the last boss has those eyes. Yeah, the rocket would just kill it in one shot, so I could like shoot it and then like do like almost like a Kovacs aimbot training thing. It was really fun just to kind of do that. What did you think of the dungeon as a whole, Blue?
I thought it was dope. I think this is probably my favorite dungeon they've released in a couple of years.
Yeah, and
I don't know. It was like the mechanics were fun, but not intrusive to the point where it was annoying to do. There's just I love dungeons that have wicked ass ads, like just like tons of ads to kill. The mechanic to get to DPS phase was really cool. I think my favorite part though was the fact that getting to the DPS phase on the final boss was so sick, and the fact that like you're going up a spire to do DPS. And the fact that like it's platformed in a way that you have to like travel up it to do DPS was super sick. I love the spires or the braziers or whatever according to Fruit. The Viking funeral pyres or whatever.
Yeah.
The concept of like having the cold be a mechanic of the fight was sick. I don't know. I just feel like they got pretty creative with this one. And maybe it wasn't the most difficult dungeon, but I would take a creative and fun dungeon over like just a dungeon that was like, oh, these mechanics got to be hard. You know what I mean? So I don't know. This one just felt really special to me. And there's something special about like being so grounded and them like doing such a good job of having such a localized dungeon still feel so like fascinating and like awesome and like God, I want to see more of this place type feel.
Yeah.
Whereas like in other dungeon, it's like, wow, like this is super sci-fi futuristic, distant future type vibe. But this one was just very. We're going through like an old dilapidated fortress, and it's sick.
Yeah,
and
it's cool.
I loved it. I think it's probably my favorite dungeon since we've had a couple dungeons since then. It's my favorite dungeon in quite a while. It's definitely a top 3 for me.
Yeah, what I really liked about the DPS phase on the last fight is like you could like the eyes would come back, but like if you shot the eyes, you could extend the DPS phase. So your DPS phase was like dependent on like how good you could shoot those eyes and stuff like that. Like if you shot the tether and it like tethered all the little eyes, so you could extend the DPS phase like past like what it would like normally be, and like, oh, the DPS phase stopped here, let's move on over to the next one. It was like, no, like you could like make it last a little bit longer if you shot the eyes quicker for this phase, and it was just a lot of fun. I think by far my favorite dungeon I've ever played in Destiny. I could not name you other dungeons off the top of my head. I know the Bell one. I didn't like the Bell one because at the end of the fight, you know, what you're doing with the bells the whole time, and then you get to the last fight, it's a complete opposite of what you've been doing with bells the whole time. So I really liked how it kept that same mechanic and just kind of grew upon the mechanic throughout the whole dungeon. And like you said, it was a lot more creative and fun rather than like, I don't know, just a big health sponge that has a difficult like logo emblem type like idea behind it. It was a lot of fun.
It was super creative, like Blue said. I think they really did a great job of just finding something new to do in Destiny with a thematic that we haven't seen very much and mechanics that we haven't really seen and really making it fun. So I would love to just like keep running the dungeon because I'm like, sure, it's fun. You can do it pretty quickly.
Yep.
And I think that as much as we love like Ghost of the Deep was super cool the first time you did it, because you're like traveling through this crazy big area and you're going underwater and you see a whale and like it's super cool. But in terms of replayability, it's like, ugh.
All right, I want to walk faster. Like, I get it. I'm underwater. Like, I'm underwater.
Exactly.
I get it. Like,
I get it. The witch is there. Yeah, she's shimmying. I know. It's great. I love it. Yeah. So this one has, I think, a lot better replayability.
Yeah. I mean, like, even I was like, after I was done with it, I was like, I want to do like a second run, but like,
yeah.
But I don't know. Do I want to ask if people want to do a second run type of thing? Like, is Destiny back? But really excited to kind of with that dungeon. Hopefully we see, I mean, I don't know if we'll see anything kind of like that until Final Shape, sadly.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, that gives me some sort of hope for Final Shape, you know, that, you know, there is this kind of fun activity and that the dungeon team is snapping.
They're snapping.
Hopefully the other teams, you know, snap off like that. There is also something in Destiny that I think we should talk about. It's no longer in the store anymore. And I know Blue had an interesting take on the Destiny 2 starter pack that I thought was.
That was no.
You don't want no. What Blue?
Rob, when we started,
were you trolling?
I was absolutely trolling. Come on.
Oh, okay.
When we started the dungeon,
what's this interesting take?
When we started the dungeon, I did this little bit at the beginning of our dungeon run where I was like, oh, dude, baby, I'm Bungie's #1 defender, baby. Like, all these people on Twitter, like, they were being way too hard on them. And then Rob was like, because I had leftover silver, so I bought the Witcher stuff.
Yeah.
And I was mostly like, oh, dude, I'm gonna layer it like I just bought this, baby. And I was like, dude, gotta support the Eververse microtransactions, baby. And so Rob at the start was like, oh, dude, you know what's crazy is that them pulling that starter pack, and so I try to lay it on pretty thick, but sometimes Rob takes things real literally. So I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like people were way too harsh on that starter pack.
My neck snapped. I was like, what?
I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like people were way too hard on the starter pack. Like, I thought it was a good deal. I'm laying it on way thicker than I am now. Like, I have my Bungie #1 defender cosplay on, and Rob took it seriously.
Cosplaying.
Obviously, yeah, the starter pack is so gas. I think the starter pack is the fact that Datto got taken down is honestly a crime against humanity because it was so good. You get free materials. You get 2 exotics that are meta exotics. Sleeper is the best weapon in the game. And then I can't even remember the other exotic, but it's probably gas. So yeah,
Traveler's Chosen and Ruinous Effigy, is that it?
The only reason why I brought it up is because I was upset that I had not bought it because now it was like a collector's item. I don't know if you can get those ghosts or the ship in any sort of kind of way. I'm sure like Destiny or Bungie will probably release it in the store at some point. But like only 400 people have that ship now and stuff, including Datto, because Leopard gifted it to him.
That's true.
Yeah. So that was why I brought it up, that I was kind of upset that I had not bought it, just for the fact that now it's like a collector's type of thing. So, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Datto react that way about anything before, and that that was
crazy to see. Well, I don't think it was just Datto's video, but Datto's video was definitely like the straw that broke the camel's back type vibe, because I know they were already getting so much bad publicity from the starter pack, because I mean they already got really bad publicity from letting you buy this season, like the battle pass from the start of the season, right? Like buy through it. So in that way, you know, that is also basically buying like materials and weapons, but it's, you know, it's that one's a little more gray because the battle pass people can get it anyways.
Right. Yeah.
But this was like straight up like
this was so bad. This was just blatant. Like Because we say all the time to Bungie that you need to have a better way to get players into the game, right? Because if you load up the store just on Steam right now and you look, you're like, I'm a new Destiny. I would love to get into Destiny. And you see $409 for all of the DLC. There's 14 options for you to pick from. You're like, what do I do? Yeah. And adding another thing to that and then calling it the starter pack. And, you know, when you're a player who you don't really know anything about the game, you normally do look for starter packs because that's what's supposed to get you started. But like right now, I know that this is on sale, but you can get like the Witch Queen for just under $10. You can get Beyond Light for under $8. You can get Shadowkeep for like $6. So all of these things give you actual content where you can get those exotics. You can get the armor. There's raids, there's campaigns, and they're all cheaper than what you can get in the starter pack.
Yeah, I know it's all on sale right now. Let me look right now.
It's so crazy buy because
$400. Yeah.
But with the sale right now, you can get all of the actual current content for like, I think it was like $73 or something.
Yeah.
Which is like how much
$40, Witch Queen 10.
That's how much it should cost after like once the content has passed. Because like literally every other MMO, you get all the content before it, and then it's the new X pack that is the full price thing, right? So
yeah.
It's just such a strange disconnect because they're like, how do we get more people into the game? But then you definitely without a doubt, I have no doubt, you have upper management like, but then we can't get that much money out of new players when they come into the game. It kind of just smells like they're not confident in their product enough to think that, oh well, new players aren't going to stick with this. We need to get as much money up front as we can.
Right.
Which is such a it's not even a double-edged sword. Like you're just stabbing yourself by
it's very
asking a player to pay that much money up front to play your game. I mean, to get into Destiny, it's one of, if not the most expensive. I mean, it's one of the most expensive entry asks of any game up right now. And I love Destiny, but it doesn't have like the content level of like subscription-based games. But it's way easier to get into subscription-based games because you pay the upfront, which is usually like, you know, $40 or $60, and then you pay a sub, which is like even like a full year of an MMO sub is you would have played the game for the full year because if you pay that sub. Whereas with Destiny, it's like, nah, can you just pay the $400 up front? It's like, dude, that is wild, and it is just so bad.
Yeah. They need to, I don't know why they haven't done this, because I'm sure this would sell more, because as of right now, like we have people, if you stream Destiny at all, if you have any friend that's ever come and talked to you and been like, oh, hey, you play Destiny, I've thought about getting into it. They're all like, what do I buy? What do I do? I don't know. It happens so often that you would make more money, I think. Now, I have never worked in marketing or any of that, but I feel like you would make more money if you just made a pack that was like, new players, start here. This is everything you need to like play a campaign. It's going to give you a raid. You can experience all of the stuff that Destiny generally has to offer. And then you can filter them or funnel them into, well, maybe you want like the dungeon key now because these dungeons are really dope. Or maybe you want this other campaign because you get this other raid and you get a whole new story to play. It's crazy to me.
It's one of these games that would so truly benefit from actually having a free-to-play system. Because right now, it's hard. I mean, it's almost impossible to defend the free-to-play moniker that they want to push. When in reality, it's free to try.
It is. It's like a demo. Yeah.
It's a demo, and this game would benefit so much from old expansions being free. Like, you don't have to make don't have to make Witch Queen free. You don't have to make. I mean, obviously, Lightfall's the current expansion, so they're not going to make that. Like, they're not even going to discount that, which is understandable. But it's like there's several expansions of content in the game right now before Witch Queen. You can have that be the free-to-play experience, and then suddenly people want to buy Witch Queen and Lightfall. Boom! You've just actually converted people into not just playing the game, but they see something cool in the microtransaction store. You have several PlayStation collabs in your store still. People are going to be like, that armor's sick. I want to buy it. Dungeon keys, like Watts said, people are going to want to buy, which I hate the fact that there's dungeon keys, but nonetheless, if you want to make money, the dungeon keys are right there. And then if people get caught up, then they're like, oh wow, now I'm at endgame. Now I want to buy the season pass that makes them their current money. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's just, it almost feels like with the way management seems to be working at Bungie, it's always like, how do we make a quick buck now to cover the next couple of months versus how do we make a long-term impact on our, for our studio. It just kind of feels like, how do we make a quick buck now so we can impress Sony right now? But it's like, man, like, I don't think you guys are even doing that. Like, things aren't like, it's like, just needs a different structure. It just like the game is impossible to recommend to new players. It's impossible.
I never do. Like, I've had like my cousin is like, hey man, I really want to get like into Destiny. Like, where do I start? And I literally go, I have no clue. Like,
none of us have any idea.
I've been doing this. I've been on the train. It's like telling someone to jump onto a moving train. I don't know how to jump onto it, man. I've just been on it the whole time. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like we just buy the expansion that comes with the annual pass every year that covers everything. It's got the dungeon key in there. It's got the pass. It's got the deal. So I don't know what you do to get in. I think the best thing, like they had I think it was the Legacy collection or something like that had like Beyond Light, Shadowkeep, Witch Queen, and then you could buy Lightfall and the annual pass, and that would cover literally everything. But I don't think you need to get everything right away.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the thing.
You don't need to get everything.
They want you to get everything right away, though, because that's how they make the short term. So,
well, the funny thing is, like, the Legacy collection is still $60 in the store, but then you can buy Shadowkeep by itself for $6, Beyond Light by itself for $7, Witch King by itself for $10. So
and you can currently get Lightfall and the annual pass for $40, and it's normally like $100. Man.
It's like why? It's like why not just there be? Why not there just be like Destiny Legends, the starter pack, and you get Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, you get the what's left of Forsaken in the game, you get these, and then and maybe I think Witch Queen should be included in that, but you throw people like I already don't like charging for that stuff, but like still like you can be like $30 for the base game, and you could treat that as the base game, and you have a lot of content to play for those $30, and then people get into Lightfall. So it's like, I don't know, man.
You gotta convert players.
You gotta convert.
New players would also like benefit from some sort of like daily login like reward or something like that, or something that like makes you feel like as you log back into the game as a new player, like, oh, I got something today that's like some enhancement cores or something, just something that like makes you feel like you're progressing and can kind of do some new things.
It'd be nice if that was in Guardian ranks, right? That like as you go through your Guardian ranks, and that's supposed to teach you like how to play the game and get into the different content that you get. Like, well, here's an exotic because you completed Guardian rank 2, and here's some upgrade materials, just so players at the end of doing their kind of Guardian rank stuff before they get to the more hardcore things, they have some weapons that they can mess around with, some exotic armor so they can try builds. They have upgrade materials to upgrade all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's hard. It's hard to get into.
I always say like the barrier to entry for Destiny for new players isn't high. It's just confusing. Like it's not even like the sense. It's not like hard.
It's high in the monetary sense.
Yes, it's high in the monetary sense, but it's also just confusing in the sense of like, where do I even start to like trying to play? Like with World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or like, other MMO type games, there's a pretty linear progression type of system.
The barrier to entry is play all the X packs that are free. With Destiny, it's like, there is no new player experience. Hope you buy the right thing on the store.
There's New Light, and New Light, I don't think it helps much. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why, like, they made New Light and then they made Guardian Ranks because that New Light wasn't helping players like actually learn about getting into Destiny.
It feels like the dev team is like working with what they can.
Yeah.
Because the management just will not say, you guys are right. We should make some of these old expansions free to play. And devs are like, yes, dude, Shadowkeep and Beyond Light free to play. Yes, that would be such a good intro point.
That should be a thing.
And then management's just like, but that's so much money we wouldn't make. Nah. It's like, God, why?
It's like, how many games have you gotten into where you're like, now I'm into it? You know what? I've been enjoying this game. I've gotten a lot of content for free or for very little. Exactly. I'm like, you know what? I love The Witcher. I'll buy a set.
I like this game. This game makes me feel good. You know what? I'm going to commit to it.
Talking about League.
League got me real good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I like playing League because it's free, and then you get the champs, and then you get a new champ that you like, and it's like, oh, I'll buy a skin for this champ because I really like this champ, and then like there's 140 champions. That's kind of another kind of to sear off the Destiny train for a while. How long have you been playing, Watts? For those that don't know, real quick, I'm in a Discord chat or a Twitter chat with Watts and her League gamers, and they are way better than me in every sort of the way. So I'm always way too nervous to be like, yeah, I'll play with you guys. Because every time
just go play because we're bad. It's fine.
She has like 300 CS. And I'm like at 120. Like, it's like you guys are just playing a totally different. How long have you been playing League?
So I got into League at, I think it was the beginning of season 3. Because I watched Worlds. Yeah, I watched Worlds, which was season 2 when Taipei Assassins won. And like that was a whole hype thing because they were the underdogs and no one expected them to win. And I was like, this is really cool. I want to try and play it. So I started then. I don't know what year that was.
I think that's like 2014, 2013 or something like that. Let me see. Taipei.
Yeah,
it's like Taipei Assassins, right?
Yeah, Taipei Assassins won. World. That was 2012. So yeah, it would have been 2013. Well, probably the end of 2012 is when I started playing. Yeah. That was a long time.
What? Too long. So, I notice do you ever stream League or make any content around League, or is League kind of the one game you have that's free from that?
Yeah, so way back in the day on YouTube, I started doing some League stuff. Why did I do that? Who knows? It's the whole thing of like monetize literally everything you do in your life.
Yeah.
Don't ever have a break or fun.
For sure.
So I stopped doing content on it. I did a stream as part of when we did the GCX charity stream. One of those incentives was I'll stream League of Legends. So I streamed League as part of that. But it generally is like a thing that I just do in the evening with the buds. It's an offline thing. I think it's actually really important for continuing to enjoy games as a whole, because I see a lot of content creators be like, I don't know if I really like games anymore. And I'm like, are you playing anything offline just like for yourself, not for money?
Yeah, not for content.
Yeah. Well, I think like after years of doing content, I think like I was in therapy and they asked me, it's like, do you even like gaming anymore? Because like back in the day, like gaming used to be like my escape from my job or like the real world type of thing. Yeah. And then all of a sudden gaming became my real world job type of thing. So it got to the point when I was just playing a game off stream, I'd feel like shit or feel bad about it. Cause it's like, oh, I could be streaming this and someone could be watching and someone could be having fun. But like at the end of the day, it's still important to like have it be a hobby as well as something that you do. So that's like it was CSGO kind of came like for me for a little bit there. And now it's kind of like League where it's like, I don't feel bad for like playing games off stream. Even if I do play that game on stream every once in a while, I think it's important, like you said, to still enjoy gaming.
Yeah, just like I just want to hop on this game because it's something I'm interested in. It's something I'm having fun with. I'm not like, okay, is this going to be maximizing viewership and people interest? It's a whole thing that goes along with playing a game for content. That League is I'm down to stream it again. Like you said, you stream League sometimes, and it still remains kind of your kind of offline game. So I'd be down to stream it. It's just a thing that we try to do every evening just to hang out with buds and like play a game.
You're a jungler, right? Or do you play all kinds of roles?
I started with support, which I think a lot of people do, because it's like you can play with a friend in the same lane and they can be like, here's what you do. You're not alone to just like figure it out. So I started as that, and then it was when I was playing ranked, like way back in the day, when I was thinking of getting into jungle, and support was always taken, and I was getting filled into jungle every single game. So I was like, okay, sure.
Get someone jung.
That just became the role that I definitely enjoyed the role the most, even though you get abused the most. But I don't play ranked anymore, so
that's what I was about to ask. So no ranked anymore ever?
Not anymore. Like, I always think about getting back into it because I used to go hard with playing ranked. It was really important to me.
Peak? Like,
I think I got to plat right before I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. People are too mean, and these games take too long for me to sit here and be yelled at.
Yeah, and my day is ruined now. Like,
Thanks, guys. Now I'm sad, so appreciate it. Yeah, so I stopped doing ranked because it's also gotten worse. It was never good, right? People were always assholes. It was never good, but now it's like people just quit. They immediately start yelling, like they die once. They're like, I'm done. I died one time. The game's over. GG. And I'm like, dude, I don't. It also feels like you're playing a therapist every game where it's like, no, come on, guys. It's going to be okay. We can do it.
Well, that's what like Christian always talks about. It's like if he picks a jungler that someone on the team doesn't like, no, don't pick that character. Like, we're gonna lose if you pick that character. And then he picks that character. He's like, well, now I'm just gonna throw. It's like, well, you didn't want to lose, but now you're ensuring that we lose because now you're the one throwing. And then like Christian always talks about, now he's got to play, the middleman. And like, no, guys, like I'm carrying, like we can scale type of thing. And it's just like
so annoying. So I'm just like, well, I play with a full team in the evening, just chill. If anyone wants to try a new role or a new champion, they can, and it's chill and it's fine.
Yeah, so that's why I picked top when I first played, because when I watched League, I always enjoyed watching League. But I could like never play it, because you can kind of understand like when you're watching it. Yeah. But like as soon as it gets into a team fight, it's kind of like what's happening type. Yeah, like all right, this is cool. So when I wanted to play League, I was really afraid of like picking a role that was like very dependent and very team oriented and ganks and all that kind of stuff. And then I heard, hey, with top lane, you're kind of on just your own island and you just kind of do your own thing and just farm. And I was like, I'll do that. So like, the one that doesn't require me to do a lot of team fighting early game, and I can just kind of, sit on my island on top, like perfect.
Yeah, it's good for that. It's very good.
So yeah, I'm just kind of curious. Your League, kind of.
I've been playing for a long time, and then I think I've been jungling, not exclusively. Like sometimes I want to play Phil and just like, sure, I'll go play mid and support and AD carry. I'll play everything a little bit, but jungle's always where I return to.
Are you excited about the new changes that are coming?
I am. Yeah, these are so for people who don't know, I think these are some of the biggest changes that they've ever done to a preseason. Like they're changing the map, they're changing items, they're changing all of the neutral objectives. They're changing so much stuff, and that's
especially for like a jungler role, because like now you path differently. Like it's going to be a totally different.
It is. It's like and I think that's why I like League a lot, and why a lot of my friends like League, is that you are never done learning and getting better at it. So there's always something to work on. So I find that the times that I don't enjoy League is when I'm playing like the same character. I've kind of got it not figured out, but a lot more figured out than I want to have it. But if I'm always learning something, then it's always a good time. But yeah, I'm excited for it because those kind of changes really changed the game. So I'm looking forward to it. New stuff.
Speaking of looking forward to some new stuff, we got some new teasers today. I don't know if any of you guys I don't know if anybody you guys saw them. We got a Fallout teaser, which I'm a little worried about Fallout because like it looks good, but it almost looks like it has that Halo kind of like potential behind it, where it's like it's a video game show, but it's not great. But I could be wrong. The teaser looked okay. It got my hopes up a little bit, but it still looks a little weird. Did any of you guys happen to see it?
I did see it. I've seen a lot of people speaking really positive about it. It reminds me of Silo. If you guys have seen Silo, that show.
That is Mr. Fruit's like favorite show ever.
Right, yeah. I just simply because you're underground in a bunker and the world's gone to ground.
Yeah.
Like that's really all it is. But I love Silo, and I'm always I'm interested in those stories of post something happen and humans trying to figure it out. So I think Fallout it's got really interesting story. It's got interesting worlds. So I hope that they do it justice because the trailer looks good. So
yeah,
I'm hopeful.
Fallout 3, the Fallout series is one of my favorite. Fallout 4, I fell off a little bit, but Fallout 3 is seriously one of my favorite games like ever.
Yeah.
And just like you said, that universe has countless stories, like just countless amount of stories. There's like so many things you can do with that IP. So did you happen to see the Fallout trailer, Blue?
I did see the Fallout trailer, and I've never been like the biggest Fallout fan, so some parts of it did look a little cheesy to me. But
it did.
But I'm interested. I always like seeing, especially in this era of TV, how much people actually care about making video game stories translate well to live action.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see. I always love seeing video game stories like do well in TV or movie medium. I'm gonna be following it for sure. Will I watch it? I think I'll probably try to watch it, but I'm always gonna hope they get a dub.
This bustling holiday season, you might be looking for nutritious, flavorful meals to fuel you on a jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit delivery service, can help you eat well for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. With chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle while tracking all your holiday to-dos. You guys absolutely know this is me, Mr. Fruit, and Blue's absolute favorite kind of meal service. The food is delicious. You can't go wrong with it. And the best part for me, it's convenient and microwavable. I'm a really bad cook. This takes all that out. Treat yourself to high-quality, delicious meals over the holidays. Choose from 35-plus chef-created meals every week that support a healthy lifestyle and meet your meal preferences, whether it's calorie smart, vegan and veggie, protein plus, and more wholesome options. Head to factormeals.com/GG50 and use code GG50 to get 50% off. That's code GG50 at factormeals.com/GG50 to get 50% off. We all know quitting bad habits can be tough to do. That's where Fume comes in. As you guys know, I've been about 3 months clean from my bad habit that I've picked up over the years. Fume is here to help you like they helped me. They look at the problem a little differently. Not everything in the bad habit is wrong. So instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from the habit? Fume is an innovative, award-winning flavored air device that does just that. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses delicious flavors. I love their orange flavor. It literally tastes like Fanta. And the look of it is real nice. It's sleek, cool looking. What more could you need? Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 150,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, and there's no reason it can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com and using the code GG to save 10% off and getting your Journey Pack today. That's tryfume.com and using the code GG to save an additional 10% off your order today. We also got a new teaser for The Boys. Watts, have you watched The Boys?
I've watched a little bit, and then I always just end up falling off. Not because I'm not enjoying it. It's just something else is happening.
There's always
and then
so
I'm
much
like,
watching.
There's always so much stuff going on. And then I'm like, well, now I feel I need to start from the beginning. And then you do that again, and then you stop. And then you're like, oh, I got to do it again. Yeah. But I've always enjoyed it.
Especially with The Boys now, because I feel in order to watch the newest season of The Boys, you got to watch this new series that they have called Gen V, which is like kind of like almost like a bridge between seasons 2 and I think 3 or 4. I don't know which Boys season it's on. But it looks awesome. If you can catch up before the newest season comes out, maybe that'll give you kind of like some wind in your sails to finish it out, because it is incredible. It is one of my favorite like comic to TV show like shows ever. It's awesome. Did you happen to see that one, Blue?
I have seen it, and I'm so excited for The Boys. It's crazy because I started watching The Boys because Fruit was watching it in his home theater, and he started watching the first couple episodes, and I was like, wait, this is gas. Like, wait, this is awesome. And now I'm just obsessed with The Boys. Like, it all started because of Fruit. Shout out Fruit. We miss you, big guy.
And then I think, which I'm the most excited about, believe it or not, we got a House of Dragons teaser.
We did.
That looked just so awesome. I love the Game of Thrones world, and I'm so happy that the House of Dragons was like exactly what I kind of wanted after Game of Thrones and how that kind of ended.
Yes.
I'm sure you watched Game of Thrones, Watts.
I do. Yeah. I watch Game of Thrones. I really enjoy it. I enjoyed all the politics and the moving pieces are really interesting. And of course we all like dragons. That's why we're excited for a season of The Wish and stuff. So seeing that, you've got House of Dragon, it's all about the Targaryens. The Targaryens are some of the most interesting in the world because of all their madness and their dragons. It's always a good time. So yeah, I loved House of Dragon. I thought the actors were incredible. They were all so good, and they just did a really good job with House of Dragon. It looked so good. So I can't wait for season 2.
What about you, Blue?
Haven't seen the trailer yet, and I did like House of Dragons. I think it was maybe a little overrated, probably a little bit.
Oh, okay. You
now
think
that it's sad with
I bet
me.
it was like because how the poor taste that the last Game of Thrones left in our mouths, that it was like, oh my god, this is actually halfway decent. This is the greatest thing ever. Like,
I think so. Yes, that's where I'm feeling. I think it's really good, but and I do kind of have like a little bit of a soft spot because of how it kind of brings back the nostalgia of how people like loving Game of Thrones. So it feels good, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen the trailer, but yeah, I hope it's good. I think for me, I'm still a little damaged by Game of Thrones and how bad that finale was.
Yeah. It made me so sad. So
I'm still I'm still a little what's the word I'm looking for?
Miffed.
That's not really miffed. It's like
jaded.
Like I'm still learning to trust. I'm still learning to trust again. With Game of Thrones content. So
you just don't trust them.
Exactly. So that's where I'm at, and I hope I can get there. But I'm recovering.
I get it.
So before we get into some Q&A here, we have one last topic to talk about here. Rockstar released a picture saying that we are getting our first GTA 6 trailer on Tuesday. Yep. Does anybody have any hot takes or anything they want to predict that we are going to see from the trailer? I'll start one.
Cars in there.
Okay, I think one of the characters we play as is going to be a female lead. I think we will have our first female lead in a Rockstar, and it's going to piss a lot of the people off for some reason, but I think it's going to be freaking cool, and I can't wait for this.
Why do people not want to play as a hot lady? I'm always just like, I want to be the cutest, hottest lady I could be in all my video games.
Then they give you Trevor, like in the last GTA.
Yeah. I haven't played a GTA. Obviously, that hasn't been a new one for a long time, but I got into online a little bit, but then I just never stuck with it. So it's been a long time. No, I haven't done any GTA RP. No.
Okay.
Yeah, just when it first came online, and I was like, oh, online, I'll give it a try.
Well, I always talk about this, like GTA Online when it first released back in like 2013, 2014 was one of the most disappointing online releases of a game. Like
it was really bad.
It was so bad. Like the things they talked about that you could do in 2013, like you just could start doing now in 2023. Like
basically,
it was like one of the worst like things. I remember being so disappointed from it.
It didn't work for like a week. It was not really even working for a long time.
Because in order to like do online, you had to like do this first mission, and everybody was trying to load that first mission, and it was just it was just a fiesta. I remember being so sad and calm. about it because I remember talking to friends like, yeah, we're gonna have this gang and all this kind of stuff, and we weren't even able to do that until like 2018, and then that was probably when like whatever the RP servers is where they made their own like private servers and stuff. And it's just, but I'm hoping with GTA 6 and they kind of like hired and partnered with those people that it's kind of integrated into the game and stuff, which is what.
Yeah, I'm always down to play a GTA story. It's always a good time. So.
Yeah, and I
don't know what we're
loved
gonna
the last
see.
GTA story.
Yeah, me too. I liked it a lot.
I hope it's gas, and I do hope that we get a little bit of a new a shake up in the character, the main character. That'd be nice. And I would love to see how Madge the internet gets.
I've been waiting 20 years for this. I can't believe it.
Anything else we want to touch on before we did a little bit of Q&A from the people?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't think so.
We honestly kind of got through it this week. We didn't really.
Question here from Space says favorite Fortnite skin. I know Peter Griffin just came into the game today.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw someone who made a music video, one of Eminem's music video. Shake That Ass For Me. Is that one?
Oh, really? Yeah.
And it's got Chun-Li dancing. It was great. It was a really good video.
Fortnite, man. My favorite Fortnite skin. God. I really liked the German skier. That's what I always played as. I like the skier skins or the NFL skin because I'm a bitch for the NFL. I love you.
Yeah, you know what? It's it was this dude from like season 2. It was a Ripley versus Sludge. That's what it was. Ripley is my favorite skin, and I can't get him because I didn't play during that season, and I love that skin, but I don't have him. Now, my favorite skin that I have is probably. I cycle through. It's tough. All right, it is tough out here. I'd say
so many.
I don't even know what my favorite is right now. I rocked the shit out of Vegeta for months, so I think that's the one I still have equipped. Actually, right now I think I have the Stranger on from D2. So
yeah, the D2 crossover.
And there's the Stranger.
There's D2 skins in Fortnite.
You can be Ikora. You can be Zavala, the Stranger. You got a Puka Ghost.
That is right. I remember seeing the Zavala gritty edits everywhere.
It was really funny. I did a collab with Fortnite creators as part of that. So I played Fortnite, they played Destiny. And then when we went to the tower, they saw Ikora. They're like, it's the Fortnite lady. And I'm like, yeah.
My God. We live in a society. We live in a time.
Like,
oh God.
Got my one night out, and that's what I'm known for now. Oh, speaking of which, do you guys get like all of these emails and tweets and messages now asking you, hey, saw your Fortnite account, was wondering if I could buy it? Have you guys got? I get those all the time.
I have some OG stuff on there too. It's probably gone, to be honest. I haven't logged in there in forever. Someone's probably stolen it already.
My Epic account kept getting hacked by Russians like 4 years ago, and it got to the point where I'd be sleeping at night and I'd get like Russian text and then it would have like my authenticator number to type in to like log into my account. I would literally make my Epic password like fuck Russia 1. And it would, no matter what, they somehow got into my account every time. So it just got to the point where I was sick of it and I just deleted my account and lost all my skin. I have like nothing.
I gotta respect that, honestly.
Yeah.
Walter says, hey guys, longtime listener, first time Patreon supporter. What was your guys' least favorite school subject growing up and why?
Man, dude. Probably math. And not necessarily because of the subject, because every single math teacher I had was just really rude.
They were
really
all
rude.
assholes.
Well, I don't know why. Math makes people angry. No,
If I had to teach math, I'd be pissed off too.
I realized later on in life, I actually like math, but it was my teachers that made me not like math.
Yep. They were incredibly unhelpful. They were angry if I tried to ask them anything. So like, I felt like I could never clarify anything to actually learn because they're just like, why aren't you a genius already?
And I was like, and they're like, I know the answer. And like, I would do the answer. They're like, no, you didn't do your work right. And I was like,
oh my God.
What do you mean I didn't do my work right? I have the answer. There's my math right there. No, you got to show your work correctly. I'm like, no, this is how I always get to my answer.
That is math.
Yeah, if you have this is the problem with school in general, right? If you have your way of doing something that works for your brain and you get to the right answer, that should be okay.
No, you got that wrong. You got that wrong.
You got that wrong.
It's like the answer's right. How do you tell me I got that wrong?
Got that wrong.
I would say math, but if we're talking this, like, if we're just talking like a subject, but like if we're talking a specific class, like English 2 honors was like my nightmare in hell. Like it was awful. Cause you know, I was in a class with like every valedictorian my high school had, like, cause everybody had like a 4.4 GPA type shit in that class. And my teacher knew like I was like not the greatest and smartest kid in the class. So we would do spelling tests and vocabulary tests. And I'm not kidding you. She would literally like say the word and just stare at me and make sure I wasn't cheating. And it was like, I'm like, people that watch and listen to the podcast know how I am with spelling. It was like the worst half a year of my life. It was awful.
Why are they? Why
get me back into English
under so much pressure, man? It's like, don't pressure me. I'm trying to learn. I'm doing my best.
Your word is croxaldifivic, and then she would just like look at me like I was like, oh my god.
If I'm bad at it, it's your fault. You were teaching me.
Yeah. Morgolis says opinions on House of Dragons. Okay, we kind of went over that a little bit. Mark Rasay says Mr. Fruit has been playing Lethal Company. Helped with your. Oh, this is a question for Mr. Fruit specifically. We have a last question here from Absolutely. Says, what is your favorite monster hunter and what is your favorite main weapon usually? I'm a big bow guy.
I'm a bow guy. I'm a bow guy. Yeah, I'm a bow main too. Oh man, it's just so actually fun story. Well, not so fun. When I was playing Monster Hunter Rise, I hooked up my scuff controller to it because when you're playing bow, you're constantly dodging, right? So you're shooting, dodging to keep your max charges of your bow damage. And then in Rise, you also have like these super anime moves that you can do too. So it's just a lot of things. So it's like, I want a scuff control. I don't want to use the little Nintendo like controller to do this. So I think that actually caused me to have some hand pain because in Rise, I'm like, I'm dodging, I'm shooting, I'm doing flying in the air. And I think it hurt my hands because I was fiddling around with the bow so much. But I love the bow. I feel super cool with how they did the bow in world that you can, you know, it's very aggressive. You can be very aggressive with the bow. You're no longer sitting all the way in the back and like waiting to draw it all back to do damage. So bow is very fun. You can be aggressive. In Rise, it was cool that you could cut tails because that was one of the sad points of playing bow in world is that you could cut tails by jumping and slashing it, but not the best way to cut tails off. So, yeah, I love bows.
Did you play as a little cat person or like, or is it all the cat people are the only people that cook for you in that game? Or can you
cat
be
people
one of the
are your
cats?
Friends. You can't be a cat, but they come along with you. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
They come along with you and you see them. So there's some really funny animations in Monster Hunter. I think they make it so fun and whimsical, which is good because you're murdering animals, you know. So I'm
right. Like you are kind of.
You're kind of an asshole.
Am I the bad guy? Like,
but they do little animations, like you'll see your cat get on a little truck or something, and then they'll shoot out something, a weapon, or you see them get their cheer sticks and start cheering to give you buffs and stuff. So cats are great. They're throughout the game. You can name them. So you can name them your cats. Monster Hunter cats are great.
Do you know what your favorite monster is in Monster Hunter?
So I think my favorite is actually Namielle, which she first came to Monster Hunter in Monster Hunter World. And I just love her design is so cool. Her armor looked dope. You basically were like a jellyfish. It turned you into a jellyfish. The armor is also really good for bows too.
Is she like a giant dragon looking thing?
Yeah, she's a dragon. She's a dragon that's also kind of like a jellyfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing kind of like pictures of it now, and I'm seeing a lot of
so she
VTuber
gets
art.
like electrical under her wings, kind of like a jellyfish.
That's a cool design.
She's cool, man. She's got water and electricity. And man, her armor is so dope. I felt so cool. You actually kind of look like a Splatoon character with the armor.
Blue, I know you got into Monster Hunter. What did you play?
Okay, so here's the thing. I actually never really found a weapon in Monster Hunter that like I really vibed with. And I don't know, like I tried as many as I could, and none of them just really like stuck with me in a way that I loved. I think the closest I got to really liking one was probably Charge Blade. But even then, I don't know, I just didn't like feel 100% about it. Now, my favorite... Oh, whoops. I was my earphones turned on this video that I had in the background. I hate when that happens. Anyways, when I double click them, sometimes when I double tap them in the wrong way, it'll just turn on this video that I did not mean to have open. So congratulations, audio listeners, you heard that. Fuck, where was I going with this? My favorite Monster Hunter weapon is not in Monster Hunter. It's actually in Wild Hearts. It's called the Karakuri staff. And it's so sick because it's like, all right, there's the thing about me. I am a slut for modular weapons. Like weapons that morph and like change depending on like the situation. Giga Slapper. Like they just do something visceral to me. And so the Karakuri staff, you'll swap between like a big ass shuriken. You'll morph to a staff. You'll morph to like a giant ass buster sword. You'll morph into like these claw blades. You'll morph into a ton of things. You morph into dual blades. It's sick. Yeah. It's so dope. I love morphing between things. And so that is the only time I've ever like had a weapon, and I'm just like, dude, this is gas. This is the weapon for me in a Monster Hunter style game.
Wild Hearts was incredible. By the way, Wild Hearts officially came to Game Pass. So if you're looking to try a game that's just like super dope combat, the world is great, it's beautiful, it's so good. And actually the Wagasa in Wild Hearts was my weapon, and that weapon is definitely because I'm a slut for parrying. So if you put like a parry weapon in the game, and it's an umbrella, you're parrying with an umbrella. So
is Wild Hearts same game of like same branch of Monster Hunter? Like they're in the same world, or
no? They're different. They're completely different. They're same genre of hunting monsters, but they are completely different publishers, completely different dev teams. So not related at all.
This is the Koei Tecmo dev, so they've done things like the Three Kingdoms games. They've actually done like quite a few monster hunting style games. It's clear that they really want to make a monster hunting game stick. But yeah, that whole section of devs make things like Neo, all that stuff. So they're very good at combat. Like those dudes know how to make some good combat.
Oh, and the character creator in Wild Hearts is way better than it has any right to be for a monster hunting title. It is crazy how in depth you can go.
You can make anything.
Yep, it is insane.
Wild Hearts.
Play Wild Hearts.
Play it. It's so good. It's so good.
Well, I actually believe that'll do it for this episode of the GG Over Easy podcast. Watts, thank you so much for joining the podcast today.
Thank you for inviting me. I had so much fun.
And don't forget, this is the last day of the content.
Yes.
Go pick it up.
Thank you for allowing content to work with you and your community. We really appreciate it. Yes,
They're amazing.
Links will be in the description. Please check out Watts' drop today. Support her and her community with getting some cute little lambs or a sick, cool hoodie. Appreciate you guys all checking out the podcast for today. We will catch you guys all next week. Peace out.
Bye.